but it must have been the wrong time. I done said the right thing, but it must have used the wrong line. I've been on the right trail, but I must have used the wrong car. Hit us in a bad place, and I wonder what's good for. I've been in the right place, but it must have been the wrong time. My head is in a bad place, but I'm having such a good time. I've been running, trying to get hung up in my mind.
Hey, welcome back. So, previously on Blownaway, we were making our way along the Italian coastline, bouncing from island to island.
This week on Blownaway, we continue our journey down the Italian coast. We visit some very impressive islands. We head through the Messina Straits and across the foot of Italy. And then we finally make our way towards Greece.
We overnighted at Capri. We didn't stay there very long, and I'm slightly gutted because I put the drone up and it was a fantastic day, and I had some amazing drone footage which has unfortunately been corrupted and is unusable, and I'd love to go back and reshoot it all, to be honest, because it was such a lovely island. So our next overnight stop will be at Capo Palinuro. This part of the Italian coastline is rarely visited by yachtists. They tend to head off to do the islands, or Corsica, Sardinia, and then Malta. We chose to go down the main coast of Italy and to visit a few islands in the Pontines, etc. And we certainly don't regret it. As is typical of Med, we've been burning quite a bit of fuel and we needed to get some diesel. So we came into Marina di Camerota. The entrance way into Marina di Camerota is a challenge. It is very shallow. I wouldn't recommend anybody going in there in any kind of bad weather, and the fuel dock is not very easy to get onto. Once we had refueled, we came just outside the marina entrance and dropped anchor. We did take a bit of a walk around Marina di Camerota, and it wasn't a bad place, and the town square that you see here was probably the focal point. We going?
We're in Marina di Camerota, just here.
Okay.
This is the town.
And where are we going now?
Just round the corner, there's some bays, well, sheer cliff faces really.
We scouted it yesterday, didn't we? We had a look at it yesterday in the dinghy.
Yep.
And it looks gorgeous. Get what I did there? Gorgeous.
Yeah.
And they've got some moorings there, so we're going to go there relatively early on a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And we're going to see if we can get a mooring.
Yeah. And if we can't, we'll probably come back here, anchor for the day and go down there later.
Yeah, I like that plan. And this is where we were, and this is where we went last night. Very pretty place. It doesn't look much through the camera. The streets are narrow, pedestrianised during the evenings, and quite a few people around. As you can see, there's a lot of brollies, but it wasn't busy, and it was really nice. We enjoyed it. Nat!
What?
Where are we going?
Just round the corner.
That narrows it down.
That way.
Cala Bianca, it's a nature reserve, and it is just around the corner from where we were, and it's moorings only, no anchoring, but I did do a quick swim on these moorings and they are in excellent condition.
just like Sakalobra.
A little. Yeah. Just a little bit like Sakalobra.
Oh no, I thought he was about to get naked.
Huh?
He started putting his shorts up at funny angles and I thought he was about to get naked.
Pretty evil rocks.
Yeah.
Doing?
Going under the canvas.
I was getting you in the shot.
Okay.
Now this was a really attractive area and not something that we'd expected. So we spent a couple of nights on the mooring buoy and there was hardly anyone else there. Next we move a short hop down the coast to Sotraro. So we are currently anchored in Sotraro. That's the outer breakwater right there. Unfortunately for Sotraro, while we were there, they were excavating the marina entrance. So we had a lot of noise, a lot of dust, and the water was pretty disgusting. So we've just recovered one child's inflatable that's blown offshore, which is now on the deck. And in the distance, I thought it was a life raft initially because it's quite high up, it's orange. I don't know what it is, but we're going to go down and investigate it. And binos is just an orange sort of inflatable thing, but it looks too cheap to be a life raft maybe, but we'll pull it out to sea anyway. So much plastic. So, we just pulled this out of the sea. Big children's float. It's got like a roof on it. It looked like a life raft from a distance, and it is loaded up with somebody's personal possessions. So, this full face mask. There's obviously their magazines in here, a pump for the inflatable toys, normal mask for snorkeling, which is a Mares one, so it's expensive, sun cream lotion, bats, balls, there's a whole load of inflatable stuff for children. Like, that is a ton of plastic. What are people thinking? And this shit's obviously just blown out to sea. We saw it, thought it was a life raft, so we went to investigate it. And it turns out to be this. What the hell? Not such a happy looking octopus now, hey? Vibo Valencia Harbour. Choice of 3 marinas. We went into Stella de Sud. The town was quite a depressing place. Not somewhere I really want to bother videoing, to be honest. Okay, just doing my... So I was just doing my routine checks on the engine, checking the oil and stuff like that. I was actually going to change the oil because I haven't changed it for a couple of 100 hours. I came across some little pieces of rubber. I don't know if you can see this or not. They are from this belt. This belt's it's done 700 hours, that belt, so I can't say it's not done its service, but now I need to change it. So, both belts swapped out. Pretty straightforward, just a couple of nuts and bolts to undo and an adjuster bracket, that's all. The engine's got 2 alternators on it, one for 12 volt charging, one for 24 volts. It's a little bit more complicated than normal, but here we go. So that's a 24 volt alternator. was a 12 volt, and the 12 volt belt got eaten up because the battery died on the engine. So the engine start battery died, which we swapped out, and I think it's been trying to compensate by running on the alternator rather than running on the battery. So the battery's dead and the alternator is working extra hard to try and put life back into it, so it ate the belt. But I've got a spare one, so it's done. And I'm currently running it on fresh water. I've got the hose running, seat cock closed, and I'm running fresh water through the engine just to flush out all the pipes and the intercoolers and everything else to get rid of all the salt deposits. So we need sponsorship from who? Okay, so about a week before we transited this area, Stromboli had erupted and it actually killed some tourists that were walking around its crater. Under those circumstances, we decided we would give Stromboli a miss, and we passed it as the sunset. It was beautiful. Anything special happened today?
Special today. Erupted volcano, just there.
An active volcano at sunset. And you couldn't remember what the special thing was in your life. Stromboli. So, we've arrived a little bit early to the Straits of Messina, and we're now using radar, AIS and our own eyes, Mark 1 eyeballs, to navigate through it dark. So this is what it's like outside. If you're of a nervous disposition, I would not recommend doing the Straits of Messina at night.
Special K.
You're steering the boat through the Straits of Messina, dodging traffic, whilst
And fishing boats for fishing nets.
whilst crunching a special K. We are now through the Straits of Messina, heading along the foot of Italy.
Dolphins, puppy dog, dolphins.
So join us here in Santiago
Rolling,
de
rolling.
Compostela.
Cut. Take 2.
Hey, so you join us here in, where are we now?
Rosella Ionica.
Rosella Ionica, and we're at the Castle, the
Medieval.
medieval, you have to say it in Italian, medieval. They rebuilt it.
Castello. Yeah. Nice modern windows.
Double glazed, ensuite.
Yeah.
It's got everything you could ever want. If you're a king in the castle, this is the place to be.
So that's the marina in the distance over there where we left the A. That's all.
If you look at these rocks, right, that is the thickness of that wall, right there.
Yep.
And if you look at the rocks, what do you notice about the rocks?
They're made of secrete.
They're rounded.
Oh, they're rounded.
So where did they come from?
The sea.
Yeah. So some poor donkey had to carry these rocks up the hill to make this.
Oh.
Feel sorry for the donkey, right?
Yeah.
It's falling down. Earthquakes, take your pick, whatever. So they've taken sections of the old church, so you can still see these columns and these pillars, and they've repaired them. Look, so the repairs. So it's all been repaired, and there's lots of obviously new bits. So this is all new. The floors all new, but they've kept the old bits.
I like the secret rooms.
I like that.
the only ones that were stuck there because we left with a flotilla of about 8 other boats this morning. We are motor sailing. Wind's pretty much on the nose again, and we are heading towards La Castella. Nelson and I are chilling in the cockpit.
Painting underway, into wind, bad idea, paint going everywhere.
So the flotilla of boats that left with us are all over there. And they're all heading to Crotone. We're the only ones that it looks like are going to La Castella. So we're hoping we haven't made a bad decision.
So the castle's really nice. The downside is the rabbit hutches over here, the egg crates over here, and the beach bar here with some very loud speakers. What do you reckon we are? Good morning. So we are currently in Crotone in Italy, and we are anchored. First time for like 4 or 5 days we've been anchored. And we are just out there. We're going to do the finger trick.
I can't see BA.
No, I can't see either.
Somewhere there.
There. So where are we on that map?
There.
Where are we?
There.
Tour guide. Tour guide. Mm-hmm. So where are we going?
I can't reach up there.
Where are we going?
There.
Huh? Tour guide. This is one street back from the seafront. Pond full of garbage. So at one point this was a stream, so the dog is standing in the stream.
Look at the dragonfly.
Nice. That's curious. You kind of assume it's the thing on the top, right? There is water to it, but I don't know how to turn it on. So, Crotone. Crotone promised so much and yet delivered so little. It was covered in graffiti. It had litter everywhere. It was quite a dirty place, and I'm very disappointed with Crotone. Italy, I found in general, there was a lot of garbage on the streets. Whilst in Crotone, we only once saw anyone picking up garbage, and people just seemed to accept it, and it was a very sad thing to see. I really think the Italian government needs to get a grip on its country's cleanliness, and there are some areas that should be looking lovely, should be full of tourists, but they're not there, and they're not there because the place is filthy.
Yeah, so generally the entire cockpit was covered in coastline, the red stuff here. and it's super sturdy. It's super great for having dogs on board. It's been on for 10 years and it hasn't been replaced in the 10 years.
The dog's almost dead.
But the dog is now 10 years old and a little less sort of scratching around in the cockpit, so we've decided to strip back the coastline in parts of the cockpit. We're going to do the whole lot, but we're just doing it in stages, and we're going to wood skin. Okay, so we've been anchoring Crotone. It's on the inside of the foot of Italy. We've been at anchor for about 4 or 5 days now, and it's been quite pleasant. And been looking at the wind for the next couple of days. It was picking up to like 20 knots, so we were questioning whether to go to Marina. And what's happened today?
Run away! Run away! Going in a marina.
Yeah, the waves just picked up to about 1 metre and it's quite uncomfortable and it's difficult to get the dog on the dinghy and etc, etc. So we're going into the marina. Yachting Club Crotone.
We're anchored on sand. We've got a good hold. There's nothing wrong with the anchor. It's just the size of the waves rolling through. Once the swim platform on the back starts to go under and we can't get the dog on and off, it turns into a pain in the ass. You can tell by the depth gauge how much we're pogoing. We're not actually moving.
And that is why we went into a marina last night, and why we're staying here for a few days. So we're going on a bike ride to Capocolonna. Where are we, honey?
We're in Italy.
Whereabouts?
Colosseum.
It's not the Colosseum.
It is, seriously. There was a bit of wind the other day and we lost a few of the pillars at the Colosseum. Look, see?
Okay, really we're in Capocolonna and this is the old temple, and of the 48 pillars only one survived.
Because apparently the rest of them were used to make the harbour. They used the rest of them in the harbour defences apparently.
Yes.
Right, here's my rant. This shit gets European funding, right? So the Europeans pay for all of this to go in and stainless steel fencing, etc. And then we pay for all of this stuff to go in. So there's a nice little board there. The trouble is you can't get to it because it's all fenced off. None of it's maintained. All of it's overgrown. Can't see the temple. Can't get to anything. We just cycled 12 kilometres to get here to have a look at this. Joke.
No, we just cycled down another one of their nice little pathways, and this is what we found.
Fenced off.
Fenced off, and the gate goes to the street.
This is it. This is our last stop on Italian soil. Join us next time on Blownaway as we make our way across to Corfu.
That's Colin.
You look like a... What are those little creatures with the antennae at their heads? TV thing. A new tea towel. It's a Greek courtesy flag.
So we found Greece. And also in the distance over there you can see Albania. It's not the prettiest place we've been to, but it's absolutely fine for the first couple of nights, and we've got a good place to take Nelson ashore, so all good.
hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like and a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the notification bell and you'll be emailed or messaged whenever we release our next video.